Hi, today I'm going to look at the AlphaServer 400. As you can see, I have two of these. These are the only ones that I've actually paid for. I bought these from a leasing company when my work was about to send them back. They're a nice tower PC style form factor. 233 meg processor, so the same speed as the AlphaServer 1000 I've just done a few videos on. Anyway, we'll have a look. These are both fairly well fitted out. They've all got their CD, their floppy, DAT tape drive. I think there's a couple of hard drives in them. Nothing much to see around the back, of course. Single power supply, PS2 keyboard and mouse, two serial ports, parallel port, external SCSI connector, video card and network card, of course. To get the panels off, you have to unlock it with a key. It goes in here, and both side panels will come off. This one has the information on the internal devices, and the right hand side gives you access to the inside of the machine. This one has a similar structure to the previous Alpha that we looked at. This side you have your various slots. This one's only got ISA and PCI, there's no ESA in this one. And the CPU itself is on a daughter board here. A little bit hard to see, but this is the main CPU card and the Alpha processor underneath this heatsink. Memory is down here behind the cables. All your media bays are here, so you've got the CD, the tape drive, and there's a hard drive in here, another hard drive in here, and the floppy, of course. Behind this panel is the cabling for the media bays, so you can get to the various bits in there. So this is the processor board I just removed. So there's a bit of RAM here, processor under there, of course, and a digital chipset, and the NVRAM. It's interesting that it's on the processor board, whereas in the AlphaServer 1000 it was on the base board. Okay, time to power this up. I think what I'll do is I'll remove all the power from the main board and just test the power supply without powering the whole computer. Okay, no smoke from the power supply, so I've plugged the main board back in. The hard drives don't sound very healthy, but we'll start it up and see what happens. And 28 mega RAM. You can see the discs, but they don't sound very happy. I think that might be the one with the problem. Okay, it looks like the hard drive suddenly decided to go. must have been stuck and it became unstuck. And that's it. Okay, I've now broken into it. This machine, well, this particular hard drive doesn't look like it's been booted since 1998. I suspect most of my stuff is on the other faulty drive. This one does have a few software kits on it though that I will be copying off before this drive fails. So 128 mega RAM. Running on DKA 100, 0 doesn't want to start. The CD drive works, I've tested that. The clock battery seems to be flat, so I will be replacing that. Okay, I just pulled the clock chip out. As it can be expected, it's dead. It's got a 95 date on it. Since my last clock chip repair, I've actually bought a few new ones. So this one I'll just be doing a straight replacement with this one, which has got a 2021 date on it. Okay, I managed to get the other hard drive working that wouldn't spin up. I use one of these old-fashioned tools to do it. A couple of taps on the side and it's spun up. And on the other one there is an OS installed with Deck Windows motif. So both hard drives are working now. Okay, time to work on the next one. This one's very similar. I might have a bit more memory in it though. Unfortunately, the power supply in this one has got an issue. It turns on and then straight away it turns off again. I've unplugged all the load from it and it still does it, so there's something internal to the power supply that's causing the problem. Oh, what do you know, I got it working. This was a strange one. Every time you switch the power on, it'd power up for about 1 or 2 seconds and then the power supply would cut off. And I wasn't sure what was going on. I know it can do that sort of thing when it's too hot. And then I thought, it's very cold in here today. It's probably about 10 degrees in this room where I'm doing this stuff. And I thought, wonder what happens if I heat up the power supply. So I got my old heat gun and put it on fairly low, but enough to sort of be fairly good warm air, and pumped warm air into the back of the power supply for 3 or 4 minutes, and it started up after that. So I don't know whether there's a low temperature cutout in the thing or whether some of the components were just too cold and weren't behaving properly, but it seems to be okay now, which is very odd. Anyway, let's see what's on it. Okay, let's have a look. .128 mega RAM. I thought this one had more, but it's got some 32 gig modules, whereas the other one only had 64s. Showing 2 hard drives again. One was at 26 and another was at 29. So, looks like I've installed FreeBSD on this a while ago. Just stop that. Have a look at the other disk. And it looks the same. Another FreeBSD. What I might do on this machine is try and install Windows on it, just to see how things go. Okay, so I'm going to have a go at installing Windows 2000 Release Candidate 2, which was the last version of Windows ever produced for Alpha. So at the moment, OS type set for VMS. So you have to set OS type to NT, and then reset, and puts it into what they call the ARC console. I've now got the Windows 2000 RC2 for Alpha CD in the drive. First thing you need to do is to set up a FAT partition. Non-Intel machines require a FAT-based boot partition as well as the main NTFS drive. So what you do is you run a program off the CD by saying CD arc inst. Configure partitions, create a system partition, choose your disk. Only has to be very small, 8 meg will do. Yeah, it's already done. Okay, so now that you've got that created, you can go install Windows NT from CD-ROM. Okay, I'm installing it on this one. There's my FAT partition there that I've already created, and I want to install Windows 2000 into that space. Okay, so after a very slow install, looks like it's there. It's automatically added a boot selection to the menu, so we just pick that one and it should come up. Okay, so there we have it. Windows 2000 RC2 running on Alpha PC. It's not the fastest thing around, but it does work. Nice resolution and refresh rate. Browsing is not great, but it's better than nothing. Anyway, that's about it for this episode. Hope you found that interesting, and we will catch up with you next time.